Hi guys, my name is Dominic Ellis. I am your Green Party candidate for Castle Point. I'd like to quickly share with you 5 things that I think we should all be worried about and how I intend on fixing them. Point number 1. There's a certain minority in this country who are taking money out of the economy, who are destroying local businesses and aren't paying their way. We both know who I'm talking about. Tax avoiders. The Tax Justice Network have calculated that every single year we lose £69.9 billion to tax dodging. To put that into perspective, that's more than 76% of the UK's current deficit. If elected, I will do absolutely everything within my power to close every single tax loophole that lets big corporations come into this country, exploit our workers, disrupt our local business, and then send our hard-earned cash elsewhere. Point number 2, starving children. Research from Oxfam has shown that despite the UK being one of the richest countries in the world, 1 in 6 of British children are living in poverty. This means their families don't have enough money to put food on the table. The food bank in Southend ran out of food over half term and couldn't feed any more kids. If elected, I will oppose any benefit sanction which has the capacity to take the food off the plate of the poorest and most vulnerable children in our society. Number 3, fracking. Fracking involves pumping hundreds of poisonous chemicals into the earth in order to release shale gas. Not only has fracking caused earthquakes, but current documented medical side effects have included blindness, brain tumours and cancer. How anyone can suggest we start doing this under people's houses is literally beyond me. Point number 4, immigrants are not the cause of all our problems. Research from UCL has shown that in the last 10 years, EU migrants alone have made a net contribution of £20 billion. They've also saved us £6.8 billion in education and contributed 64% more in taxes than they've claimed in benefits. We can't live in a society where children are brought up to believe the reason their parents can't find a social home, the reason the NHS is falling apart, and the reason no one can get a job is because some people from a different background also live in our landmass. These are problems we solve by building more social houses, by putting more money into the NHS, and by creating new jobs in sustainable areas. Point number 5, stop privatising the NHS. A few weeks ago, the government sold off £780 million of NHS contracts to private companies in the biggest privatisation deal in NHS history. Of those companies who will now make money off people being ill, 3 of them were under investigation for poor services. If elected, I will ensure we spend an extra £12 billion on the NHS every year to prevent any kind of corporate intervention. This money will come directly from the £69.9 billion we will recoup when we close tax loopholes. Thank you very much for listening to me rant. If you agree with the things I've said, make sure you vote for Dominic Ellis in Castle Point this May.